Information now. State lawmakers returned to Richmond in just 2 days for a shorter General Assembly session than last year, but with the same divided government. Our Cameron Thompson reports on what all sides are hoping to get done this year, while elections loom at the end of the year for all lawmakers.
Along with individual legislation, lawmakers in Richmond will also be looking at Republican Governor Glenn Youngkin's proposed amendments to the state's two-year budget.
We got to move, and we can do more. We can do it faster.
Last month, Youngkin proposed $1 billion in tax cuts, while saying a roughly $3.6 billion budget surplus will allow for more funding in places like education, public safety, and mental health.
I've asked for $230 million of investment to expand capacity. It's more than's ever been invested incrementally in behavioral health.
Republicans in control of the House have voiced support for the governor's proposal, and Speaker Todd Gilbert adds among his party's goals for 2023 are eliminating the local portion of the grocery tax and giving parents more say in their child's education.
Anything we can do to give parents more power, more control, more input, and make the schools more accountable to them, I think is something that the majority of our Republican House caucus would like to see.
Meanwhile, Democrats with a slim majority in the Senate released joint priorities with their House colleagues, calling it Vision for Virginia, and it includes things like continuing to increase the minimum wage, protection for the LGBTQ plus community, and keeping Virginia in the Regional Greenhouse Gas Initiative.
And of course, there are a lot of other issues dealing with criminal justice reform, getting some of these guns off of the street, cutting down on the violence. So we have a full agenda ahead of us. Even though this is a short session, it's going to be full in terms of the legislation that will be coming forward.
But both sides say they do see compromise in some areas, including in mental health, addressing COVID-19 learning loss, workforce development, and pay increases for professions like police and teachers.
All those things seem to be a place where we routinely land on trying to find bipartisan solutions.
But an area there will likely be no cooperation is abortion access, as Republicans in Youngkin have spoken of a 15-week ban, while Democrats say they'll keep the current law, allowing through the second trimester and in the third in some circumstances, such as the health of the mother being at risk.
And so I'm ready for the fight. We'll make sure that none of that stuff gets passed in Virginia.
Now, while session starts on Wednesday, not all lawmaker seats are taken, as there is a special election on Tuesday. 2 seats in the House, one previously held by a Democrat, one by a Republican, and one in the Senate that was previously held by a Republican. And then in November, all 140 seats will be up for election under the newly redistricted maps.